say to me in Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again for another How to Play video, and today I'm going to teach you how to play the Mr. Toast game from Hasbro Gaming. This is for 2 to 4 players, ages 8+. The first thing you're going to want to do is shuffle up this big deck of cards right here, and then deal 5 cards out to each player like I've done. I've got a 3-player game set up. Then you're going to place the rest of the cards back in the middle where everyone can reach them. Now, the first player is going to the player who most recently ate toast, which we'll pretend is this player right here, and then everyone is going to get ready to start the game. So, on your turn, you're going to do 3 things at the very most. So let's go over those 3 things. The first thing you will always do on your turn is you will always draw a card first. If you cannot draw a card because there's not any cards in this pile, then shuffle up the discard pile, which will be right here, and then draw from that pile. The next thing you're going to do on your turn is either play a red card or play a green and potentially a purple card. So let's talk about the red cards first. The red cards are going to be chores. So ironing, sweeping the chimney, taking out the trash. These are things that Mr. Toast does not want to do. And you're going to play these in front of someone else as a punishment and a penalty that they have to take care of before they can win the game. Now, the rules on placing a red card are pretty simple. First, you cannot play a red card on someone unless they have a purple and a green card in front of them. So if this player had that in front of them, then I could play a red card on them. However, since they don't, I can't play a red card at all right now. Also, if someone already has a red card in front of them, you cannot play another red card in front of them. This will never happen. But since no one has a purple and a green card in front of them, that means I'm going to do the other thing that you can do instead of playing a red card, which is, of course, to play a green card. Now, when you play a green card, you're going to place it in front of yourself, and it has a number in the upper left-hand corner. These are called fun points, and in order to win the game, you have to have exactly 15 fun points in front of you. You can also play an alternate way where you just are the first person to get to 15 fun points. That's a great mode for quicker games or for when playing with younger players. But back to the green cards. So when you play a green card in front of you, you can only play 1 green card to score points. Also, if you'd like to when you play a green card, you could lump a purple card with it, which means you'll get bonus points. However, as we mentioned, if you have a green and a purple in front of you, that puts you at risk for people putting red cards in front of you, which is not what you want. And the reason why this is a big deal is you can't play any more green cards or purple cards on yourself if you have a red card in front of you. You also can't just play a purple card by itself. It must be with a green card. So maybe in this example, this player says, you know what, I don't want people putting red cards on me, so I'm actually not going to play that purple card, which means I'll move on to the third step of your turn, which is to play a blue card if you have a blue card. So I don't have a blue card, so we'd move on to the next player on the left. So let's go through their turn as well. First thing, as always, they're going to draw a card. Then they can play a red or a green card. Once again, they can't play a red card because no one has green and purple in front of them. So they'll play this green 3 in front of them, and now they have 3 fun points. Last but not least, they can play a blue card if they'd like, and they will. They'll play this change directions, so play now moves in the opposite direction. It would be back to this player's turn. Whenever you play a blue card, you do whatever action is on the card, then you put the card into the discard pile with one exception, which is this card right here, Take a Break, which actually skips another player's turn. And so when you play this as your blue card, you would put that in front of the other player so that way they can remember to discard it when it gets to their turn. And yeah, you know, their turn skipped. But now I want to show you how you can get rid of red cards, because we know they're bad. So let's set up an example. Let's pretend that this player right here had played those 2 cards. So they have 4 fun points in front of them, which is great. But for this example, we're going to pretend that someone played a red 3 on them. Now, the numbers on red cards are not fun points. You don't add them up to your total. So right now, this player does not have 7 fun points. In fact, they have 3 chore points. And the only way to get rid of these red cards are to use fun points to get rid of chore points. So this player now has to play at least 3 fun points on their turn to get rid of this. Also, when getting rid of red cards, you can play more than 1 green card in order to do it. But let's actually pretend it's this player's turn so you can see exactly what this would look like in the game. So as always, first thing they're going to do is draw a card. Next, they can play a red card or play a green card. So playing a red card, once again, not an option, which means they're going to have to play a green card. And how this is going to work is they have to at least meet or beat this number in order to get rid of this red card. So they could play this 5 if they wanted to, and they could get rid of it. Or more realistically, they would probably play their 3 to get rid of it. And both these cards would just go into the discard pile. But I want to show you one more example. So let's pretend that they had actually had a red 4 placed on them. Well, what they can do is they can also play a purple card with your green card, just like normal, because purple is always buddied up with green, and they can use both these cards to get rid of this chore card. However, all of these cards would be discarded. And then they would move on to playing a blue card, so maybe they'd play this grocery shopping. Take whatever action is on the card. Their turn would be over, and it would move to the next player. The last card we need to talk about is the no way card, which can be used to block a blue card or another no way card. And this one you don't have to play on your turn. You can play at any point throughout the game. So let's show you how it works. Let's pretend that this player has a no way card, and then it's this player's turn. And for their final action of playing a blue card, they decide to play this small fire, which means that this player now has to discard 2 cards. What this player could do is say, no way, and play their no way card, which would mean that this blue card does not happen, and both these cards get discarded, unless, of course, another player plays another no way card, which means that in fact would happen, and this player would discard 2 cards. Remember, though, no ways do not stop red cards. You cannot stop a chore that way. But the game's going to end when one player reaches exactly 15 fun points, and that's how you're going to play the Mr. Toast game from Hasbro Gaming. If this helped you out, please consider giving it a like. And if you enjoy learning new games, then consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.